Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful deep divers. Shout out to all of you. Shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's diving deep. Lil Nas X, Montero reaction. So I already did it. But we're going to talk about it live on there because I feel it's so necessary, right? It's so necessary. And also the Satan shoe. I'm going to break down more science for you because there were some things I couldn't actually get into on that video. That was only 13 minutes long. So I'll give you about half an hour here, maybe a bit more. Deep divers, shout out to everybody who's here. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Sean Smith, you are appreciated. Shout out to everybody who's here. So Lil Nas X, we all know, put out that video, Montero. But there's a lot of hidden symbolism in that video, deep divers. A lot of hidden symbolism in that video. And once again, it's not about bashing Lil Nas X. He's just an artist. You see, an artist's job is just to express themselves how they see fit. So once again, I don't care about your weight, your sexuality, your color. Just respect me and I'll respect you. Whatever you want to do is your business. It's nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. But that's not what this is about. There is a lot of symbolism in this music video, and the music industry has been known to put a lot of symbolism inside of their videos, right? So hidden in plain sight, right? It's hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. And this is way bigger than Lil Nas X. He's just an artist once again. But this is about cult programming, especially targeting young children. A lot of these videos aren't for adults. They're for young children. Because do you remember, deep divers, when you were so young? You were so young and you would just watch music videos. And they have a huge impact, huge impact on young children. So like I said, I can just do a little breakdown of the video. Then I can talk about some more science. So once again, the reason why Lil Nas X said he wanted to do this the agenda is to make people stay the fuck out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be. Okay, so that's fair enough. So he is in this video in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. And this is where this all takes place. It's where it all takes place, right? In the Garden of Eden. Now, this is important because the Garden of Eden has a lot of symbolism. So here he is just playing the guitar. And you see the serpent there. Right? So this is him at his innocent stage. His innocent stage. First of all, deep divers, I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all. I'm spiritual. Religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. Slow motion this side. So this is not about the devil or God. Once again, these are archetypes of your personality. These are just metaphors. But we're just going to use these simple terms because that's what people understand. Right? But a lot of the music industry is about these artists who have to perform these rituals to sell their soul. A lot of these artists are young. Lil Nas X is just a baby. But at the same time, when you're young, You got millions of dollars. Nobody can tell you nothing, right? He just apologized, and he rickrolled everybody. He said, "I'm sorry for the Satan shoe." Not. That's what happens when you're young. You don't want to listen to anybody, and hey, do your thing, because that's what it's about. You want to live your life. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just going to take a look at the symbolism in the music video. That's all. One love to everybody who's here, deep divers. So, like I said, let's just go through the video. I can break down the video very, very quickly because I already did it on the main video. But let me send a shout out to everybody who's here. Deep divers, you are appreciated. Once again, I'm reading all comments. You got something to say? You got something to say? I'm going to read it. If there's something as well, deep divers, if there's something that you want me to know about the industry or about that video, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I'm going to read it. Let me send a shout out to Chill Rock. You are appreciated. Chill Rock, thank you for sharing the truth with us, Ralph. By the way, today's my birthday. I will never forget this live. Okay, Chill Rock, you are appreciated. You are appreciated. I got a birthday gift for you in a second. Hold it right there. So, let me just go through the music video and just give you a bit of symbolism. So he's here in the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden is just symbolic. Your Highness, thanks, I appreciate that. The Garden of Eden is just symbolic of human beings being innocent. Them not eating the forbidden fruit. Them just being at one with nature. But also them connected to their divine state. So he's here, and this is the temptation we all face. You see, this is symbolic in the video because this is the temptation we all face every single day. We're going to be tempted, not just in the music industry, but in your own life. There's temptations everywhere. There's always someone that can offer you a deal that's tempting. So that's what happens to Lil Nas X. So he gets approached. Okay, he gets approached, deep divers. He's just playing the guitar, and then we have the serpent, which is the snake. The snake comes. And then he's got a third eye here, deep divers. Now, I want to tell you about this. The reason why they put that in there is because, you see, the serpent, snakes have been told, we've been told snakes are bad, right? We've been told snakes are bad. No, snakes aren't bad. A snake is a symbol of Kundalini energy, the serpent rising. Snakes are wise. So once again, this is just a symbolism of this. You know, snakes always get a bad rap. But you don't have to be afraid of snakes, deep divers. A snake is a powerful animal representing the Kundalini energy rising up your spine. But anyway, so you know, he's being tempted by the serpent. And here he is. This picture here, deep divers, in the video is him. You can see this same picture. That same picture behind me. The sunken place from Get Out. That's the sunken place. This is symbolic of you going down. You got to watch the film Get Out to know what I'm talking about. You got to watch the film Get Out to know what I'm talking about. That's exactly the same expression the guy had in the film Get Out. And it's symbolic of you going into the sunken place. This is what happened. Okay, now he's having a meeting with the serpent. Now he's integrating himself with the serpent. He's kissing the serpent. And in other words, his body is getting taken over. Shout out to everybody who's here. Deep divers. Like I told you, if you're on this live, make sure you smash the like button. Smash the like button and share this link. We're just going to break down the video. I'm going to give you additional science. This is just a quick recap. Quick recap. Then I'm going to talk about the Satan shoe. Then we're going to talk about other science. So if you realize that, like I said, this right here is from Plato's Symposium. And this translates to a quote from Plato's Symposium after the division, the two parts of man, each desiring his other half. Right? So they put that there for a reason. Once again, the tree of life. Now here he is in a split mind, but also it being tried because it's like he's done something wrong. He's committed a sin, right? And there he is again in the Colosseum. And there he is. And there's the mob. Right? So I'm just going to flick through this, deep divers. And there he is, almost about to ascend. But he gets dropped. And we already know he's got the high heel boots on. Deep divers. he's going right down to hell. Right? So this is just a video. Okay, so I'll just go through it. Wait a minute. He's going right down the pole. Right? And here he is. This is symbolic because if you notice one thing is at the gates, you see that thing, that line? First of all, let me give a shout out to Francois. You are appreciated. Let me give a shout out to Francois. You are appreciated. So, which other film have you seen that from? That's the question I want to ask you. Which other film have you seen that from? Which other film have you seen this from? It looks awfully familiar. Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, go and check it out. This is exactly like a scene from Lord of the Rings. So anyway, he's at the doorway of hell. And this is what a lot of celebrities have to do to go to the next level. You got to have a meeting with the devil, right? And once again, the devil is just a metaphor. But you got to have a meeting with the devil, right? So here he is. And like I said, this writing here, it's Latin. And it's damnat quod non intelligent. They condemn what they do not understand. Right? They condemn what they do not understand. Now, you see, there's a lot of symbolism here. And one thing you got to remind yourself, we're going to come to even the deeper science. Because once again, I'm not even judging Lil Nas X. I'm just going to break it down for you, right? So here he is at Satan's house. And he's seducing Satan here, right? Here, we already know what's happening, right? He's doing all kinds of things. These are all rituals to go and get the power. You see, you got to do this. I want to break down the symbolism for you. You see, he had to do all of that before he got the crown on his head. Slow motion this side. He had to do all of that before he got the crown on his head. So you have to do a lot of things before you're rewarded to be the king of the underworld. You got to do all kind of rituals. So just take that into consideration. He had to seduce Satan, kiss him, do a lap dance, all kind of things. And this is all symbolic. Once again, it's all symbolic. So when we realize that the look of this guy's face is emotionless, right? Is emotionless. There's no smiles in the devil's face. He's just there, staring, like as if he's a corpse. You see, the inorganic ones don't have emotions. They don't have feelings. They don't have love or compassion. When you see them, they're just there. So once again, we see what he has to do just to sell his soul. You got to, like I said, you got to do a handstand, right? You got to do all kind of things, deep divers. Or what would you do for a Klondike bar, right? You got to do more of this. You got to do all kind of things. And here we see, once again, he breaks the neck of Satan and he crowns himself, we can see. And now that's the end. He is become the Lord of the underworld. So that's the whole ritual he had to go through to be crowned as the new king of the underworld. So you might think this is just a video, but you got to remind yourself that it's not just a music video. These are things which actually go on. These are things which actually go on. You see, sometimes you don't even realize they're performing Ancient You Are Appreciated. You don't even realize they're performing a ritual in plain sight. Stanley Kubrick did a film called Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut. You can go and check it out, starring Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. And they were showing you what goes on in Hollywood. You see, Hollywood actually comes from the Druids who used the holy wand to cast spells. Worse, Nero, you are appreciated, right? Hollywood goes back to the Druids. And the Hollywood could cast spells. And that's what Hollywood does till this day. They cast spells. That's why when you go to a film, they're literally putting you in a cast. And that's why when the film is over, you have to see the cast of the film. But Stanley Kubrick was trying to tell you, Jewel, you are appreciated. Let me shout out to Jewel. Many people have tried to say Stanley Kubrick was one of them. Stanley Kubrick was a great film director. He directed The Shining, 2001, also Eyes Wide Shut. And in Eyes Wide Shut, you see these strange rituals that these people do. And mysteriously after that movie, he passed away, in fact, before it was actually completed. And they had to edit a lot of things out. So we have to remind ourselves that selling your soul is a real thing. In fact, Kanye West said, I sold my soul to the devil for a crappy deal. At least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. You see, a lot of these artists don't know what they're getting themselves into. we're living in an age where a lot of people want clout. They want to be known. They want all the fame, all the money. Well, you got to realize there are two worlds. There's the real world and the illusion world. Now, once again, Satan is just lower nature, that's all. Is the ruler of the matrix. They create illusions. They're the masters of illusion. So in their world, they can give you everything that is an illusion. But it comes at a big price, which is your soul, which is the real you. So if you haven't seen that video about James Brown, you should go and check it out. Okay, James Brown is like having a meeting with the devil as well. He's like, gosh, I want to be young again. You should go and check that out, deep divers. Tell me what you think about it. These aren't jokes. This is what goes on. You see, if you want to be someone who has 200 million followers on Instagram, a Selena Gomez, all of these people, you think you just wake up and get into that position? No, you are chosen by an inorganic one to push an agenda. And what you have to do is just dumb down as many people as you can. The more you say nothing, the more you can keep your position. What happened to Michael Jackson and Prince? You see, Prince was wide awake. Prince was kind of keeping his side of the bargain as well. He would say he's a Jehovah's Witness. Right? You got to say things like this. But at the same time, Prince on his cheek, he said slave, right? He had a tattoo, it said slave on his cheek. Because he knew that he was a slave. He didn't own his masters. Eventually he got it back and then mysteriously passed away. You got to remind yourself, Prince was super healthy. The last picture you saw of Prince was on a bicycle. It looked like it was shot with a potato. This guy was worth over $300 million. And the last photo of Prince, it looked like it had been taken in 1950. But this is how they do you when you see you can't serve two masters. Once again, if you're on this live, deep divers, smash the like button. We got a whole lot to talk about. Director's cut. Smash the like button, deep divers, and share this link. So Michael Jackson, he was aware of what you had to do to get into the industry. Now, Michael Jackson, he wanted to expose everything, but they got him just in time. Because once again, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. That's why you have to choose which side you're on. And that's why a lot of these celebrities, they're as quiet as a church mouse, because they know if they start speaking up, everything they have got will disappear in a few seconds. There'll be news stories about them. Slander, all kind of things. They'll destroy you in the media if you go against them. That's only if you sign up to their club, right? So we've seen it with Michael Jackson, other people. If you sign up, if you sell your soul to the devil and then say, hey, I want to get out of here, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's an agreement for life, for eternity. So with Lil Nas X, you know, he got the Satan shoe. People say, Ralph, what do you think of this? Well, first of all, let's break it down. This shoe he has right here, this shoe he has, deep divers, is $1,000. and it says 666. Luke 10:18, right? That's the Satan shoe he just released. And I told you, he just made a video saying, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, actually. So what do I think of 666? I told you. 666. Do you know what 666 means, deep divers? Do you know what 666 means? It's the devil, Ralph. Do you know what 666 means? Do any of you know what 666 really means? I'll wait. I'll wait. While you tell me, let's take a look at Luke 10:18 in the new International Version. Luke 10:18 is, he replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, right? That's what Luke 10:18. So that's what's on the shoe. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. So that's the Luke 10:18. But 666, a lot of people think it's a negative thing. No. You see, 666, deep divers, is this. You got to study carbon, right? Here you got carbon, the carbon molecule. It's got 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. You see, 666 is actually the number of man. It's the carbon molecule. It's nothing bad about it, right? So it only means the original man and the original woman. 666. I told you, it's carbon. 666. So the inorganic ones, we're going to go deeper, right? The inorganic ones, what they do, they reverse everything in the matrix. So 666 is something good originally. Then they say it's bad. So they got you thinking, oh my, it's just a number, deep divers, right? It's just a number sequence. You don't have to be afraid of 666 or 333 or 444. It's just a carbon molecule. And that's why knowledge is power. When you know all of these things, you're not afraid. I told you, I'm a psychologist, right? And when you realize that what we call growing up, I grew up a Christian. I grew up a Christian, deep diver. I used to serve in the church. But as I began my awakening, I started to realize that, you see, God and the devil, we're talking about archetypes of ourselves. So in ancient times, a negative force would be considered as the devil. A positive force would be considered as God. If you look at the word God, good, right? Good. Right? So you have to remind yourself, and if you reverse God, you get dog, right? D-O-G. But there is no devil that's coming to get you, deep divers. These are figments of your imagination. Angels and demons live inside of yourself, but this is only higher knowledge. There is no devil coming to get you out there. There's a devil inside of you and an angel inside of you, right? Either way, let me tell you this. So, do you know what this means? Do you know what this symbol means? Anybody? Do you know what this symbol actually means? Its true origin. I'm not talking about Nazi Germany. This is the swastika, right? Now, if you look at that, you might think that's a negative symbol, right? Because Hitler used it. No, this is actually going back to the Indus Valley over 5,000 years ago. And this actually means in the Sanskrit, swastika means in the Sanskrit, well-being, right? So this symbol actually means well-being. But if you see this, you think Nazi or something bad. No, this means well-being in the Sanskrit. So I want to remind you, knowledge is power. Once again, this symbol, which is the pentagram, you can go back and cut an apple, deep divers, and you're going to see that same symbol, right? Cut an apple open and you will see that same symbol. So you got to remind yourself that knowledge is power. And you'll also see the cannabis leaf. Now let's talk about your boy Hova and Beyonce. You see, sometimes deep divers, you know what? I've done that in thumbnails. People say, Ralph, you're Illuminati. Am I? You got to remind yourself, deep divers, do you know why I do this? This is a Jnana mudra. If you don't know about yoga, you don't even know what that means. So these symbols, these celebrities throw up, these hand signs, you think, oh my gosh, she's the devil. Beyonce's the devil. No, there's nothing to be afraid of. Like I told you, you have to realize that this all goes back to ancient teachings in the Indus Valley, in ancient Egypt, in Sumeria. And they've got you thinking this is bad, right? So what they did, because once again, this is good for them, right? Because they've got you believing like this is dangerous. This is dangerous, right? No, deep divers. This is just this. All you're doing is holding your hand and doing this. It's whatever you make it. What did Shakespeare say, right? Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Everything you have been taught is a program. Good and bad are interpretations. Let me repeat that. Good and bad are interpretations. That's why I told you the devil does not exist. It's inside of your imagination. Right? But you're only going to know that if you're diving deep. I used to be afraid of the dark, deep divers, until I became the darkness, right? It's called shadow work. You have to learn how to integrate your shadow. Anyone who's done shadow work is not afraid of the devil. You know, there's a story of the devil, deep divers. The devil was sitting on a bench crying. A young girl went up to the devil. And said, "Devil, why are you crying?" The devil replied, "Everybody keeps blaming me. Everybody keeps blaming me for their problems." Right? So once again, part of becoming your greatest version is about personal responsibility. Let me just tell you this, deep divers. If you are walking, this is a question to you. Everybody answer. Let's just say you're walking and then you trip up and fall on your face. Will you say the devil did that? Or will you say I did it because I wasn't looking? You see, if you say the devil did that, you're externalizing your power. But if you say, actually, it's me, I did it, then you reclaim your power. Right? So let me tell you this. Once again, I keep telling you, all of these symbols, right? You've got, these are mudras, which you want to study. So don't be scared if you see someone doing that. These are all going back to the Indus Valley, mudras, right? So this is how conspiracies start. These childhood stars, Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, all of these people, they say, hey, let's do a photo shoot. And there's a whole thing in Hollywood that, you know, if you do this, you're part of a secret club and you have all the money in the world and you're part of a secret society. So they say, hey, okay, I'll do it. So this is what creates the conspiracy. No, deep divers, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, they don't have more power than you. They're just human beings. They bleed red just like you, right? So you got to stop seeing these celebrities as all powerful, right? They just got you thinking because they're doing this in a photo, they must know something you don't know. Right? So like I always say, every single day, knowledge is key. Once again, Lil Nas X with a 666 shoe. You see, he knows that people are going to be furious about this, or it's going to sometimes maybe piss people off. But once again, that shoe is the 666, right? But this is the 666. This is the carbon atom 666. So what I'm trying to tell you, deep divers, is that there is nothing to fear, right? There's nothing to fear at all. At all. And you have to stop living in duality. And you have to learn integration. They know that a lot of people are scared shitless. So they can do these things. They can say 666 is bad. I'm going to make a shoe off it. And have 666 pairs. Oh my gosh. But if you know that 666 is the carbon atom, you realize that you are made of the 666. Everybody has carbon inside of them. Carbon is the foundation of life. And once again, the carbon atom is 666. So once again, you got to remind yourself that, yes, a lot of celebrities do sell their soul, meaning a lot of people will hide this truth from other people. The truth of the ancient wisdom that you are gods and goddesses, you are creators. You see, Anton LaVey, who was one of the founders of Satanism, if you actually listen to what he has to say, is very interesting. So one of the things Anton LaVey would say is, we are gods, right? He would talk like that. He's like, we believe we can do anything. And you see, Satanism, Anton LaVey, Aleister Crowley, all of these people, they had this saying, do what thou wilt, right? Do what thou wilt, which means by any means necessary. But these people like Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey, these Satanists, all of these people, what they believe is that they themselves are gods. And what you see in the Lil Nas X video is him saying, I don't care what anybody thinks. So, two things here. Yes, we are all gods and goddesses. They even tell you in the Dead Sea Scrolls, ye are gods, you are gods, right? You are creators. Ladies, you gave birth. You are creator gods. But there is also a force which we all have to be humbled by. Some people call it God. Some people call it the force. Some people call it the field. There is a higher energy, a higher intelligence that we have to be aware of. And it can always humble us at any time. So a lot of these people who sell their souls, they think that they are above that. And this is where they run into all kinds of problems. You see, they get these celebrities when they're young. And selling your soul doesn't really look like this in actuality. You know, selling your soul looks more like someone telling you what you can and can't say. That's when you've sold your soul. And a lot of these celebrities can't speak their heart and mind. So they've sold their soul. They've sold their voice. They're bought and owned. And this is what selling your soul is. It's when you know something, but you can't talk about it. If you realize, deep divers, there is an underworld. Because if you go back to ancient Egypt, they told you in the Hermetic principles, in the emerald tablets, you have as above, so below, as within, so without. So you got to remind yourself that there's everything in this world. There is the super, super positive person and the super, super negative person. This is what creates balance. So the reason why it always seems like negativity is more popular than positivity. Have you noticed that, deep divers? Like, bad news always is more popular, right? Why do you think it seems like the devil has all the power? Why do you think it seems like you got to go to the dark side to get the power? Why does it seem like that? It seems like this because the dark side, or the Luciferian side, is the fast food. It's the Big Mac and fries with a Coca-Cola. It's instant. We can make you a star overnight. In fact, you see, it's the cheat code. It's the cheat code. You know what? Just sign here. I'm going to give you $10 million, the big mansion. I'm going to make you a star. But what they don't teach you is the inner work. You see, the inner work is the higher self. And the higher self, deep divers, is just you and yourself. Just me, myself, and I. You don't need attention from large audiences. You don't need millions of views. You don't need the spotlight. Because when you are reconnecting back to your higher self, you are now living from the inside out. Most of these celebrities, people say, Ralph, drink some water. Don't worry. We got water. Most of these celebrities are living from the outside in. Most of these celebrities are living from the outside in. So I want to remind you, this is why a lot of people sell their souls, because they're after the external fame and fortune and gratification. But it's a trap, because you see what happened to Whitney Houston. What happened to Whitney Houston? One of the best singers in the world, hands down. But what they don't tell you about the industry is that there's always a new star. See, after these two, there'll be another two and another two. In the industry, you're always replaceable. There's always a new star. Ariana Grande is going to be old news in the next 10 years. She's going to be old news. Do you remember when they booed Mariah Carey? Mariah Carey, one of the greatest singers. They booed her in Times Square. Because that's what happens. When the industry is done with you, you're like a souvenir, you're old news. Because there's always a fresh face, someone who's younger than you, someone who can influence more people than you. So the industry is always recruiting new people. And the devil loves nobody. Once again, Lil Nas X is literally dancing with the devil. That's what this music video symbolizes. And you see, the more you can do that's going to shock people, the more you will be rewarded. The more you will be rewarded. It's all about how far can you take this? What are you willing to do? And those who are willing to do everything, they will be crowned as the king of the underworld. But you got to remind yourself. That's why I told you, Lil Nas X used to watch my videos. He used to watch my videos. If you realize that a lot of people, they go too far in and they go too far deep, and they don't realize that there's no going back. Once you've done that, that's it. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep the same energy. You can't say, hey, you know what? I want to stop this. You got to keep going. Because the moment you say, hey, I want to go the other direction, it's over for your career. You're going to be back shelved and they're going to get someone else. So if you want that same fame, the next thing you do is got to be just as outrageous. Because you got to remind yourself that these celebrities, let me shout out to everyone who's here. Once again, deep divers, I gotta appreciate everybody who's here. I gotta appreciate everybody who's here, deep divers. Therapy, you are appreciated. Ralph, I want to share a little joy and laughter. I had a song I did after I had a psychedelic experience 2 years ago. Universe bless you. No explicit language in it either. Just weirdness. You are appreciated. I'll check it out. Raising the vibration. Shout out to you. Queen Prodigy. Stay woke. Thanks, Ralph. Absolutely. So I want to remind you that don't be so offended by Lil Nas X. This is what they're supposed to do. You see, if you want to get noticed, you can't just sing in a room and that's it. You gotta have a show. And that's what he gave you. That's what the directors gave you. They made it a spectacle. You see, that's one of the laws of power, be a spectacle. And this is how they keep the power. They do things that's going to shock you. That's going to make you angry. That's going to make you raise your eyebrows. But you got to remind yourself that that's cool. Like I told you, let people do whatever they want to do. You have to make sure that you're on your job. Because like I say, I'm cool because I'm inspiring millions of people. I told you. Ralph Smart is inspiring millions of people. And every single day, when you realize that Ralph Smart has made his way to classrooms all around the world, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Classrooms all around the world are diving deep, right? So, like I say, this is what's happening. As I'm influencing people to live better, you have other people who are programming your children. And that's how it's always been. The good and the bad goes hand in hand like the moon and the sun. So don't think you can destroy darkness. It's always going to be there. Like light is always going to be there. You just have to be on your right path. That's all. And you have to remind yourself that this is what they're supposed to do. This is their job, to distract you, to dumb you down. But if you know who you are, you can see through it. You don't have to get angry at Lil Nas X. He's just an entertainer and he has to sell records. It's a music business. It's a music business. It's a music business. So you got the record company who are like, hey, We need to do something crazy right now. I'm giving you how it is in the room, deep divers. We need to do something crazy right now. Okay, call me when you want. We got to think of the most crazy video that's going to shock the whole world. We got to provoke people. So they got to do these things to make noise. And you can't go half-heartedly. You got to go all in. You got to do something that's going to make people scream and say, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Have you heard the saying, even bad press is good? So remind yourself that when you are able to see through what they do, the little tricks they do, you're not worried about Lil Nas X or what they're doing. You just laugh at it. You know, you just wish them well and say, hey, I see what you're doing. But they've been doing this. This isn't the first time. It's just that now the graphics have improved. But it's been happening because, you see, something happens when you're not in fear. This person disappears. The devil can only live when you're in fear. When you are not afraid, there is no devil. There is no hell. It's all in your imagination. It's all a figment of your imagination. You better wake up. And that's why I told you, religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. They've been to hell and back. They already met the devil. Spiritual people, am I lying? Am I lying, spiritual people? You've already met the devil. You're not afraid of the devil. Right? You're not afraid of the devil. You're not afraid of, no, because you know who you are. You know about the shadow work. You know that these are aspects in yourself. So this is the deeper level. When we realize, though, a lot of the industry does things just to get a reaction from you. 6ix9ine does things just to get a reaction from you. Lil Nas X does things just to get a reaction from you. Because people are drawn to bad news. People are drawn to drama. People are drawn to gossip. If Lil Nas X was just in a room singing and that's it, nobody would care. But because he's doing something like this, now everybody cares, right? Everybody's looking. So you have to realize that's how it works. If you're just being yourself in a world, this world doesn't appreciate people who are themselves. This world doesn't appreciate people who are themselves. It appreciates fake people. People who pretend, clout chasers, people faking it on Instagram. So that's what you get. That's what you get. You see, John Lennon said, the more real you get, the more unreal the world becomes. So you got to remind yourself, Lil Nas X is a product of his society. All of these artists are, because they know that, hey, this is what you like. You hate to love it. You love to hate it. Right? This is what you like. You like the drama. You like the bad news. You like the controversy. This is what sells, deep divers. Bad news sells. Negativity sells. Shocking music videos will make millions of dollars. It's a business. It's called a music business. So you got to remind yourself it's a hustle as well. It's a hustle as well. You know, people are hustling off negativity and using even satanic symbols just for a hustle. Right? So I want to remind you that always remind yourself that it's a music business. And they know that the more they provoke the masses and the more provocative the video is, the more money they make. That video must have cost at least $1 million. They got to make it back somehow. They got to make it back somehow. So I want to remind you that we're living in a world where the only way to stand out is to do something crazy. That's why people are doing dumb shit on social media just to go viral. People are even faking it to go viral. People are literally faking things to go viral because that's the world that's been created for you in the Matrix. You see, the world outside of that is a world where you're going within. And when you go within, there's no Instagram. Uh-oh. When you go within, there's no Facebook. Uh-oh. When you go within, there's no YouTube, no Twitter, no internet. It's just you and the universe becoming one. All of those things dissolve. That's the real world. But this is the fake world, deep divers. You should know that. This is the Maya. See, they told you in the Indus Valley that this world is a Maya. It's an illusion world. See, in the Indus Valley, they said as soon as you open your eyes, that's the illusion. The only true eye is right here. They call it the third eye. You heard that right? The third eye. That's the only real eye you have. These two eyes deceive you. That's why they say, believe nothing of what you see and only half of what you hear. Believe nothing of what you see and only half of what you hear. Rod Scott, you are appreciated. Deep diver since a young age. Raising the energy, my boy. Keep up the journey. Follow at RodneyBoy. _ if you're interested in making a film by Ralph Smart. Hey, you are appreciated, brother. Let me give a round of applause to everybody here. Oh, yes. One love to everybody. So when you realize that absolutely we got to overcome the Babylon deceit. If you realize, deep divers, that the only reason why this exists is because there's a market for it. There's a market for it. That's the only reason why it exists. So it's supply and demand. Truth be told, deep divers, the masses don't care about positivity at all. Nobody likes perfect people. People like twisted people. People like people twerking on devils. This is what people like, deep divers. This is what people love. They don't want a normal person. They don't want someone just sitting down. They want you to do some crazy ass shit that they can talk about all day long. So once again, that's one of the laws of power. Become a spectacle. Give them something to talk about. Give them something to think about. Give them something that they will never forget. Give them the time of their life. So I want you to remind yourself that you can see how this is all being played out. That it's all just designed to take you away from yourself and focus on what they're doing. But like I told you, when you know who you are, you say, Lil Nas X, do your thing. I ain't got nothing but love for you. Right? I ain't got nothing but love for you. I'm cool. My life is good, deep divers. Whatever Lil Nas X is doing or any celebrity ain't got nothing to do with me, because I'm happy who I am. Once again, if you're on this live, make sure you smash the like button, deep divers. Smash the like button and share this link. So many beautiful deep divers here. Let me shout out to Karen Dobson. You are appreciated. Obsessed by this vid. My frequency is down. Well, you want to keep your frequency high. If you notice, deep divers, when I reviewed this video, the energy was super high, because I told you, this can't bring my energy down. My energy is too high for a video to bring it down. See, if this video brought your energy down, it's because your energy was already low. It's because your energy was already low. Don't let a video ruin your day, deep divers. It's just art. It's just a video. You're supposed to be able to rise above all of this, right? And this is why you have to know who you are to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to allow a video to steal my happiness. I'm not going to feel low, in a low vibration because of a disgusting video or whatever it is. Once again, you have to learn how to be neutral. You have to learn how to observe things without emotion. Right? This is the art of the master. You can observe something like a video and not even feel any way about it. You're just looking at it. And that's what I did with this video. For me, it's not disgusting. I'm just seeing it for what it is. Once again, nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So when you realize that every single day, you choose how you feel. If it only takes this to bring your energy low, it means your energy was already low. You should be able to look at this in a neutral way and say, okay, 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 right? So don't allow these small things to get your energy down. Don't allow these small things to get your energy down. Keep your energy high every single day. Keep your energy high every single day. Just be the water, baby. Be the water. Yes, a lot of celebrities sell their soul. Yes, a lot of celebrities deliberately dumb down people. But they're just people, deep divers. I want you to stop looking at celebrities like they're different from you. They're just people. They're just people. Just people. Just people. But you see, celebrities have been handpicked. We're going to talk a little bit. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Let me read the comments, deep divers. Hold on. Hold on. Let me shout out to everyone who's here. Nicholas K, you are appreciated. If your eye is full of light, your whole body will be full of light. The kingdom of God is within you. Therefore, turn your eye inward to see the light. Realize this, I am that I am. And apart from me, there is no other. I appreciate that. That's powerful right there. The kingdom of God is within you. Absolutely. Remind yourself of that, deep divers. The kingdom of God is within you. Always remind yourself of that. But you see, when you realize that celebrities are special people, just like you're a special person, but every one of us is a celebrity. We are stars. And when you stop worshiping these false idols, you become the celebrity of your own show. Just like Lil Nas X right now, he's riding high in the popularity. You are the bigger celebrity than Lil Nas X. You are the bigger celebrity than Beyonce. You are the bigger celebrity than Justin Bieber. You are the bigger celebrity than Kanye West. It's you who's the real celebrity. You're giving them your power. And this is how you become empowered. They got you worshiping from them. They got you worshiping them. They got you eating off their hands, from their hands. And you have forgotten that you are the real star. You are the real celebrity. So every single day, remind yourself that when you tune into who you are, these celebrities are just other people. They're just normal people. You don't say, oh my gosh, they're just a normal people. There's no placing them on a pedestal. See, the only true stars I'm like, okay, they were amazing, are people like Bob Marley. You know, people like Bob Marley, I'm like, okay, he actually stood for something. He's a celebrity I would want to meet because he actually spoke about things that mattered. But a lot of these celebrities ain't talking about much, because we are stars in our own reality. Absolutely. You see, Lil Nas X and a lot of these celebrities, I say what you're doing is cool, but it's not next level. Do you know what next level would be for me, deep divers? Start exposing the matrix. Then I say, okay, now we're talking. But you see, the only way they can make it is continuing the agenda. You see, they got to still live in a box, a slave. They still got to follow the script. They can't say, hey, human beings, free yourself. They can't do that. So everything they talk about that's shocking is just to pull you back into the system. So once again, even these celebrities are still enslaved. They can't speak their heart and minds. Even these celebrities are still enslaved. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Money, power. And I want to talk about something as well, deep divers. Let me shout out to Money Power. You are appreciated. Thank you, Ralph. You helped me get my life together by quitting weed addiction through your music. I appreciate that. One love to you. So SV Fire, you're a light worker, Ralph. Many blessings to you. Absolutely. I appreciate that. So you got to remind yourself that a lot of these celebrities are hustlers. Jay-Z, one of the greatest hustlers. And a lot of these celebrities, they talk about things that are negative, but their own children go to private schools. Right? A lot of these celebrities, they live a perfectly normal life. Future doesn't pop pills, do Marley. These are good. These are friendly people, deep divers, right? Who are law-abiding citizens. But the image they portray is that it's a crazy lifestyle. Once again, that's the illusion. To sell millions of records, you got to sell the illusion. But a lot of these people, all of their children go to private schools. They don't even let their children listen to the music they make. They don't even let their own children listen to the music they make. So if you look at this generation, you see there's only one way to stay in the industry and be successful. You have to compromise your integrity. XXXTentacion didn't want to play that game. And that's why they had to get him out of here. Because he was a young guy, but he was very awake. Shout out to Mac Miller as well. he started to wake up. But you see, a lot of the times, a lot of these celebrities, they go through so much show after show, they get tired and depressed at the same time because they're used as cash cows just to make money. Because once again, when you sell your soul, the devil has to get fed. They got to use you to make even more money. And that's why a lot of these celebrities, they got huge loans to pay back. We're talking like 10 million, 15 million to pay back to the record company. If you sign a deal for $10 million, deep divers, that's only a loan. You got to pay it all back, plus more in interest. So a lot of these celebrities, like that video Lil Nas X shot, that's from his own budget. He's got to pay it all back. So that's why a lot of these celebrities, they don't tell you that a record deal is actually a loan with interest. And this is why a lot of these celebrities, you see them working every single day because they got a big loan to pay back. And this is why you have to learn to be independent. You got to learn to say, wait, if you're an artist, let me go independent. I don't need a record company. I don't need a record deal. I can create my own. But once again, you can get the quick fix if you sell your soul. You can just go straight from here to over there. We're going to give you 50 million followers on Instagram, 30 million on Facebook. You're going to be the biggest star in the world. They can sort it out for you in a very quick way. This is why a lot of celebrities sell their soul, because it's quick. It's quick fame, quick money. In, then I'm out. But that's the thing. You don't get out. You just stay in. And that's it. They trap you there. But you get that quick gratification, the quick fame, the quick money. If you do this independent, you got to work. You got to work your ass off. You got to, it's a marathon. But when you sell your soul, all you have to tweet is Friday. It's going to have 30,000 retweets. I remember seeing Justin Bieber. He just typed Friday on Twitter. 40,000 retweets just for typing Friday. That's what happens when you sell your soul. You just have to type hi. People will be writing in the comments, oh my gosh, he just said hi. Simple shit. Right? So a lot of these celebrities, they have to stay in their confinement. Eminem. Shout out to Eminem. Great lyricist. Eminem did a video of his best friend called Toy Soldiers, right? Toy Soldiers. Proof wasn't getting shot inside of the video. Toy Soldiers. Now, a few weeks after that, he actually got killed in the exact same way. So they filmed it. Then he ended up dying in the exact same way. So what I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of people don't know about these rituals, these sacrifices that happen in the industry. And this is why a lot of celebrities who have been in the industry for a long time, they just keep quiet. They just keep quiet because a lot of them are scared. They know what's up. Kanye West said, if you say anything, you lose everything. Let me take you back to Hurricane Katrina. Kanye West opened his big mouth with Mike Myers. He said, George Bush hates black people. Chris Tucker was like, what the hell are you doing, man? Don't you know we're live? Mike Myers almost jumped out of his eyes, almost jumped out of his sockets. Oh my gosh. They had to cut the camera real quick. See, that was Kanye West unplugged from the Matrix. He was speaking how he really felt. And they're like, you can't do that. We need to take you to the hospital. Then he said it again at a concert. He started to name names, and that's a no-no. Once you sign that deal, you can't start naming Jay-Z's name and this, that. You gotta keep quiet. You can't spill family business to the public. That's what he did. He crossed the line. They had to say, Mr. West, it's time to go to hospital. In other words, we need to make you a Manchurian candidate. We need to mind control you once again, put the chips inside of your brain. That's what happened. When you start talking too much, you forget that you signed the deal. You can't go back. You got to keep the same energy. And that's what Lil Nas X is doing. As you can see, he ain't apologizing for shit. He's saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry about my shoe. I don't care about what you think. All of this energy is what serves the inorganic ones. They love to see this. They love to see their workers doing this kind of work. They love to see when you're not sorry. And this is how they can move you further up in the industry. When you can do these rituals and show them your loyalty. Jay-Z told you. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. That's all. That's all. All we ask is trust. Then we can give you anything you want in the Matrix. But have you noticed a lot of these celebrities, they got alcohol companies. That's what they give you. That's what the devil gives you. When he's done with you, he says, hey, you know what? You're going to be a billionaire. I'm going to give you your own vodka company. Vodka kills you, deep divers. That's what they pump to the masses, right? They don't say, hey, let's create a water company. They say, let's create a vodka business. So a lot of these celebrities get the alcohol deals. They get the bars opening. Once again, to make sure you're drunk. So I want to remind you that it's bigger than these celebrities. These celebrities that you see, Lil Nas X, all of these people, they're just going along with it, but they have no idea how far it goes and how deep the rabbit hole goes. They don't even know what they're playing with. You see, many people in the industry have tried to come out and speak about it. John Lennon was one of the first people. John Lennon made a song called Imagine. And Imagine was a very peaceful song. No profanity. But they banned that song all over New York and other places because the problem with Imagine is that it made people start imagining. That's a no-no. You can't have songs like Imagine There's No Countries. Because now people are starting to wake up. So even though Imagine was such a positive song, such a peaceful song, it was a dangerous song to the industry because people were starting to be empowered by it. You know, the Beatles were doing rock and roll songs and this and that. I mean, they made some great songs yesterday, all of these songs. But when John Lennon made Imagine, people didn't want to fight in wars anymore. People were so at peace and said, actually, imagine if we all just unite as one. All of a sudden. And the thing about John Lennon, if you don't know, you can see the interview. Someone actually predicted his own death. They said, hey, I think I forgot the exact way how it went, but they said, hey, I had a vision of you getting taken out by this guy, and it happened. Right? So all of these strange things happening. But I want to remind you, study the symbolism in all of these things, in all of these videos, but also study the ancient symbolism. Once again, the swastika is not something that's negative. It's something that's extremely positive. It means well-being in the Sanskrit. The Jian mudra, you see Beyonce Knowles, the queen bee. This is a positive mudra, and you have to study yoga to understand it. It's not a negative thing. So you have to empower yourself. Once again, the 666 Nas shoe. We're only talking about carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. So when you know all of this, you're not afraid of anything they do because you already know who you are, right? So you don't have to be scared of a hand gesture, a hand sign, because they all come from the Indus Valley. Look at the apana, right? The apana. That's the devil's horns, right? No, that's an apana mudra. So before gang signs and Illuminati so-called signs, there were mudras, right? And these are the oldest signs linked to meditation, manifestation, empowerment. Very, very life-changing. So instead of just saying, that's Illuminati, do your own research, please. Do your own research, right? Classic ninja, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Michael Jackson will play the role of the Antichrist and Christ. It's all a big show. This is it. There is no escaping the jaws of the alien this time. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Well, Michael Jackson tried to warn you. He said, all I really want to say is they don't really care about us. Because Michael Jackson, he was in the industry for so long. And Michael Jackson was a gangster, meaning he was a boss. You know, he was someone who he owned the Beatles catalog. Michael Jackson wasn't no joke. He was a Virgo, you know, and you know anything about Virgos, they're more Virgo billionaires than any other star sign. So Michael Jackson was a Virgo and he was about his business. Michael Jackson was such a gangster. He said, you know what? I'm going to buy all of Sony. I'm going to buy the Beatles catalog. All of Sony. He owned most of Sony. And that was when he was alive. And they're like, shit. So every time they were playing a Beatles song, Michael Jackson was getting a big check. He owned all of their catalog. So he was such a power player, but at the same time, they had to take him down because he broke the rules. He wanted to start waking people up. And you can't do that if you've signed the deal. You can't switch sides when it suits you. Prince tried to do it. It didn't work. That's why when they asked Prince, what religion are you? He said, Jehovah's Witness. He had to stick to the script, baby. Prince had to stick to the script to say, hey, Jehovah's Witness. But once again, these people were awake and aware. It's just that they were aware of the rituals that had to be performed to get to that level of fame and success in the Matrix or in the Lord of the Ring. This is a scene just like from the Lord of the Rings. So if you want to be the Lord of the Ring, which is all about the Lord of the Underworld, if you want to be the Lord of the Ring, go and watch the Lord of the Rings and you'll see this picture, just like in Lil Nas X video. You're going to see this picture, right? That's Lord of the Rings. If you want to be the Lord of the Rings, you got to be able to do it. You got to be able to do all kind of circus acts for the devil. Then you'll be crowned the Lord of the Ring. And that only means in this illusion world, you'll be the biggest illusion, right? You'll be the biggest illusion. You'll have the most money, the most followers on Instagram, but that's all an illusion. The one thing you won't have, though, is your soul, because that's what you have to give up to get all of that external illusion. If you realize, once again, this is the pentagram, right? And the pentagram is not a negative thing. See, anything Satan does, or the Baphomet, people think it's a bad thing. No. If you know, let me get a picture of the Baphomet, and I'm going to break down the Baphomet, because a lot of people don't even know what the Baphomet is. A lot of people don't even know where the Baphomet came from. All they hear of is the Baphomet, right? That's all people hear of. So let me tell you this. Let me show you a picture of the Baphomet and then break it down and tell you why you don't have to be afraid of the Baphomet. So let me get the picture. Shout out to everybody who's here. Make sure you smash the like button, deep divers. Smash the like button and share this link. We're live. So this is the Baphomet, right? Let me put it here. That's the Baphomet right there. So I want to remind you that you have been taught to fear this. You've been taught to fear this, right? The Baphomet. Do you know what is in his solar plexus, deep divers? Do you know what symbol that is by any chance? Do you know what he's doing with his hands? Do you know who this person is or who this being is? Do you know what it is? That's a question I'm asking you, because a lot of people are afraid of the Baphomet, and I keep telling them, do you even know what it is? Well, if you look at this, deep divers, you see the Baphomet has the feet of a goat, right? Has the feet of a goat, but the body of a man, and has the wings of an angel, right? In his stomach, deep divers, he has a caduceus. Do you know what a caduceus is? You know what a caduceus is? It's those serpents coiling around that thing, that staff. That's a caduceus. So it goes back to ancient Egypt. The caduceus is a symbol of health, symbol of the masculine and the feminine energy. That's all it is. That's the caduceus, right? The two snakes going around are symbols of the Kundalini energy rising. But this Baphomet is a representation of darkness and light. That's why you have the dark side and the light side. That's why you have one, you have the hand going down and one going up. So even though in society they tell you that's a bad thing, no, the Baphomet is just showing you sacred ancient principles of how the universe works. Polarity. That's what the Baphomet is showing you. Polarity, yin yang, darkness and light. You see, for the Baphomet to have power, the Baphomet has to integrate himself or itself with the dark side. See, a lot of people, it's duality, right? So a lot of people are afraid of the darkness. They're afraid of the dark side. It's as above, so below. You have to embrace the dark side to not be afraid of the dark side. And that's what that represents. But that's a higher level learning. And a lot of these people who you have been led to be afraid of, and you're afraid of, it's because they said, you know what, I'm going to embrace the dark side. I'm going to do bad things. I'm going to do bad things. Now, you see, it's all about balance. It's all about realizing you didn't come here to be perfect. You've seen the film The Titanic, Deep Divers. Everybody on top of, at the top of the boat, they were all boring. Everyone having fun was at the bottom of the boat. They were having parties, having dances together. So everybody in the underworld, what Lil Nas X is trying to tell you, they can do whatever they want. Now, the flip side, though, if you don't have balance, it can backfire. You need balance. But you find balance when you realize you are the positive, but also the negative. That's where authenticity comes into play. You are the positive, but you're also the negative. The positive, but also the negative. So every single day, remind yourself of that. You are the positive, but also the negative. And this is how you find authenticity. You see, once again, there's nothing to be afraid of. The Nas X 666 shoe, don't be upset about that. 666 only means carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. They got you afraid of the boogeyman. And it's time to know who you really are. Don't be afraid of a hand sign that they do. Oh my gosh, Selena Gomez is Illuminati, deep divers. No. They just are putting up mudras. Study yoga, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to remind you, yes, a lot of celebrities do sell their souls. A lot of celebrities do deliberately dumb down people. Lynn Winters, you are appreciated. One love to you. But you have to know who you are. You have to know that these people don't have power over you. You have to know that there is no devil outside of you. You are the devil and the angel inside of yourself. It's a figment of your imagination. That's why I'm not scared of Lucifer or the devil, deep divers. I told you, religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've already been there. When you do the shadow work and integrate the shadow side, you have a fusion between the light and the dark side. And now you become a fully functioning human being. That's what balance is about. But you see, a lot of people who do sell their souls, they hide this from the masses, and they make people follow something that gets them out of balance. They don't talk about meditation. They don't talk about going within. They don't talk about keeping it real. And that's why it's out of balance. So remind yourself you need to be somewhere in between the light and the dark. Like Ralph Smart is not all positive. I'm not all negative. I'm somewhere in between. So remind yourself every single day that you have to not place these people on a pedestal. These celebrities, you are the biggest star ever. You also have to not get so emotionally attached to what they create. You didn't see me shouting at Lil Nas X when I was reviewing the video. I spoke in a very calm way, even laughing, because it's not going to ruin my day. I know who I am, right? Yes, they are putting out an agenda to brainwash children. But when you are on your job, you realize that you are doing your part. You realize that Ralph Smart, don't worry about what Lil Nas X is doing, because guess what? You are inspiring millions of children. In fact, your videos are finding themselves in classrooms all around the world. The teacher's like, I don't even want to take this class. Ralph, do your thing. Ralph, do your thing. Talk to us, baby. Talk to us. So I want to remind you, there's many ways to influence people. And love is always a higher frequency than fear. You see, this is what you have to crack. This is the Da Vinci Code you got to crack. Fear is more accessible. But the challenge you have, and even the challenge a lot of artists have, is to make a higher vibration have as much reaction as a lower vibration. Right? That's the challenge. To make a higher frequency go more viral than a lower frequency. The reason why a lower frequency can go more viral is because that's where the masses are vibrating on. That's what the masses are vibrating on. But as you elevate, you're only drawn to music that grows you. You're only drawn to frequencies that elevate you. So in your world, you are making what is good for your soul go viral. A lot of people are listening to the 432 hertz. Prince used to tune all of his music to 432 hertz. Even Chris Brown started to do it. Chris Brown is kind of awake right now. He's waking up slowly. A lot of these celebrities are starting to wake up slowly. But a lot of them have compromised themselves because they've signed the deal. You see, people like Anton LaVey, all of these Satanists and all of these people, listen to what they had to say. They're not as frightening as they appear to be. They are just individuals who believe that they are a supreme creator. But a lot of these individuals, where they fell short is that they lack balance. You see, many Satanists will tell you everything is pure. You know, Satanists don't believe in sin. So they can say, hey, we can have an orgy with 20 people. 20 people in the room, let's have an orgy. So if you do that, you move more into your carnal desires. Eventually, you're going to destroy yourself because you're out of balance. So the path that a lot of these Satanists take is very destructive because you get so caught in your ego, you forget to humble yourself. You forget that the universe will humble your ass. You forget the balance needed, and you forget the heart. you forget the heart. You see, this is the difference between those who have their soul and those who don't. Because I told you in that video, look at the devil's face in this video. He doesn't look happy. He's not smiling, no feeling. He's lifeless. So this is symbolic that in the underworld, and check this out, deep divers, listen closely. Because in this video, Lil Nas X, MONTERO, what did he do in the video? Okay, so he's seducing Satan. You see it right there. You see it right there, right there, right there. He's going to break his neck. So now he has been crowned the king of the underworld. But look at the symbolism. Who was the king of the underworld before Lil Nas X in this video? Who was it? It was him. How did this person look? Not happy. So what is Lil Nas X's fate? Lil Nas X is going to be this same person. And guess what? Someone new is going to do the same thing to Lil Nas X. Slow motion this side. Can you see what I'm telling you? In the industry, part of that ritual is that you got to do crazy shit. Dumb down the masses, mislead children, get them to hate themselves. And in return, you'll be crowned the king of the underworld. But because you have no heart, you don't love yourself, you'll end up like this. Lifeless, soulless. And that's what that was telling you. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Before Lil Nas X in that video, there was a king of the underworld. It was this guy. But he was on the throne for so long, he had lost his heart. There was a new kid on the block, a new guy on the block. And he replaced him. So Lil Nas X is going to get replaced in the next year or two by a new kid on the block, a new guy on the block, a new woman on the block who's going to be even more worse than him. I'm not saying he's bad in terms of they're going to be more, putting out more visuals that's going to lead children to move away from who they really are. You're going to have someone who's going to take it to another level. And this is how the cycle goes. Like I told you, in the devil's realm, you're always replaceable. They don't care about you. You're disposable. And that's why even in the music industry, you've got hip hop, then you've got rappers. A rapper is something that can be easily thrown away. The chain of the rapper represents the chain of slavery. And that's why a lot of the rappers in the 90s had the Jesus piece. Biggie Smalls, all of these people. That was part of the ritual. Once you're in the club, they give you the Jesus piece. It's the gold Jesus piece, right? The gold Jesus piece. They all had the same chain because they're all part of the same club. But what they don't tell you is that the more you subscribe to their club, the more you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Because every year, there's a new somebody that comes along. Right now, it's Lil Nas X time to be that one who's provoking the masses. But in a year's time, Lil Nas X is going to be old news. Because in the industry, they only give you 1 or 2 years right now. They only give you 1 or 2 years. Then after that, your time is up. The contract is over. They got to get rid of you. They got to find someone else. And the cycle continues. So you got to remind yourself that a lot of these celebrities, they get them when they're young. Lil Nas X, he's only, how old is he? I don't even know how old he is. I think he's about, how old is he? Someone tell me. He's in his 20s, right? Early 20, maybe 21. I'm not sure. He's young. So when you're young, you have millions of dollars, you're going to do anything. And a lot of people right now, Cardi B, right? All of these people, it went from Lauryn Hill to Cardi B. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Deep divers, you are appreciated. Once again, everybody here, make sure you smash the like button. Smash the like button and share this link. We're live. Forever Freaky Funko, you are appreciated. We create our own reality. Allowing someone else to control your reality is self-inflicted slavery. Peace, love, and light. That's what's up. That's what's up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it's not that everybody in the music industry is bad. You have some people who genuinely want to help people. But you see, a lot of these artists, they don't get as big as the ones who are willing to go through the rituals. What happened to Lauryn Hill? She had to get replaced. Because when you are empowering so many women to love themselves, that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. You need to make women hate themselves. You need to make women just feel they're sexual objects and that's it. Cardi B, where you at? I'm not knocking Cardi B. Once again, she's a hustler. You see, it's a game. It's a game of hustling. She's a hustler. She's getting her bag. I ain't going to knock her hustle. But at the same time, they'll use someone like a Cardi B because Cardi B has this energy where she's very influential. But imagine if Cardi B was dropping knowledge all day. How many women she would empower even more. But if that happened, there would be no Cardi B. Because before Cardi B, there was Lauryn Hill, who was one of the most inspiring singers on the planet. Won 5 Grammys, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. But once again, Lauryn Hill was getting too powerful. Too powerful. They had to get rid of her. Too powerful. We can't allow this woman to win all of these Grammys. Women were starting to love themselves. We gotta take you back to ground zero. So a lot of these videos, you find it that it's all about putting you in a low frequency, a low vibrational state. So remind yourself to take control of how you feel every single day. Remind yourself you can choose how you feel every single day. If you realize, deep divers, Tupac Shakur spoke of Illuminati before it was popular. I remember I was at school and people were talking about the 7-day theory. He died on September 7th and passed away, Friday the 13th. Yes, there are a lot of numbers involved. And you have to study the numbers because the numbers don't lie. And when you realize that everything happening is far beyond human comprehension, it's a spiritual warfare that's happening. And once again, like I told you, this is exactly like Lord of the Rings. Go and watch Lord of the Rings and you're going to find this exact same picture. They based it off Lord of the Rings. So when you enter that fortress, you seduce the devil you show the devil you can do anything and even break his neck, you will be crowned the Lord of the Ring. You will be crowned the Lord of the underworld. But the Lord of the underworld is the Lord who has no soul. And because of this, you don't have any love. And when you don't have love, you can't care for the children. That's the difference. And this is why you have to remind yourself that it's bigger than Lil Nas X. It's about people who don't even care about destroying other people. Cocaine, all of these things. But in the process, they also destroy themselves. So I want to remind you, deep divers, don't be afraid of this video. Don't even be mad at the new shoe by Lil Nas X. I told you, 666, all it means is carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. These people have no real power. The real power is you. The real celebrity is you. Not Beyonce, not Ariana Grande, not Justin Bieber, not 50 Cent, not 6ix9ine, not Selena Gomez. The real celebrity is you. Stop worshiping false idols. Start going within yourself and reclaim your power. And then just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. So remind yourself, deep divers, I love all of you. Once again, shout out to everybody who's been getting the wonderful book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the-book, and the clothing, ralphsmart.com/clothes. And also make sure that you follow me on Instagram for more daily inspiration at official Ralph Smart and Good Ass Prana. Make sure you do that, deep divers, and also smash the like button if you're on this live. Smash the like button and share this link. Phenomenal live, deep divers. Phenomenal live. So many beautiful deep divers here. Like I always say, it's not about being afraid of the dark. It's about realizing you have to integrate the darkness within yourself. And when you do that, you have to be in balance. You need a balance between light and dark, positive and negative. That's why I did these videos. People say, Ralph, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing reaction videos. Well, you better believe it. This is how you stay dynamic. This is how you become more balanced. You need balance. You can't just be talking about the same thing every day. You got to be able to go into the trenches. That's what I do. I can talk about so many different things. I can also talk to the mainstream. Let's talk about Lil Nas X. Let's talk about 6ix9ine. Let's talk about the celebrity gossip. Let's talk about Cardi B. I can do all of that. At the same time, I can also elevate you to the highest regions at the same time. So remind yourself, deep divers, love yourself every single day. Love is what the world needs more of. Be love, spread love. And once again, I don't care what color you are, your sexuality, your age. Respect me and I'll respect you. I love everybody here. You are appreciated. Let love guide you, not fear. Remind yourself you are the power. Deep divers, let's rock out. Oh, you like that, deep divers? You ready for the 80s? You ready for the 80s? Make sure you smash the like button and share this link. Let's go 80s. Wait a minute. Beautiful deep divers, peace and let me play you this music which I produced, Summer. You see how music can just raise your spirits, deep divers? So remind yourself, all you artists out there, don't fall into Lil Nas's trap. Just wish him well. Like I told you, it's a music business. It's a music business. And in the music business, you got to do things that shock people. You remember Beyonce kissing a lot of people on stage? Madonna kissing a lot of people on stage? Right? Madonna was one of the first people who was pushing the boundaries. Madonna had to do what Madonna had to do. Once again, it's a music business. And the only way you're going to make millions of dollars is doing things that's going to shock people. So the more people who are outraged, that only means more millions will be made. In fact, they want you to be outraged. They want you to be disgusted. Because guess what? The more disgusted you are, the more you love it. I told you. You don't want, a lot of people think they want positivity. They don't want positivity. They want something that's going to make their stomach turn. They want something that's going to make their eyes roll. Why do people like horror films? Why do people like films with a lot of drama, chaos, things are happening? That's what it is. So like I told you, remind yourself that it's a music business. And when celebrities sell their soul, they're a part of big business. Big business. Big business. That's why Jay-Z is a billionaire. He's part of big business. Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. So remind yourself that a lot of these people are actors. They got you believing in things when you should be believing in yourself. They have to create things that's going to make you say, oh my gosh, Lil Nas X is the devil. No, he's just a human being, deep divers. Don't be afraid. Right? So people are just people. Remind yourself, people are just people. And you don't have to worship anybody outside of yourself. You don't have to place these celebrities on a pedestal. Once again, they have to create controversy. They have to create attention, because attention is the currency in this new world. It's all about how much attention you can get. Oh, you got a 666 shoe? You got a 666 shoe? Guess what? More publicity for you. Now all the papers are talking about you. That's more money in your bank account. So remind yourself, a lot of these people in the industry, they're the biggest trolls on the planet. They're Rick-rolling you 24/7. You've been Rick-rolled, deep divers. Right? So a lot of these people, they've got a whole strategy. They think about these things. They say, you know what? We're going to create a video that's going to really piss people off. And when you do these things, now they make even more money. Controversy sells. Bad news sells. Even negativity sells. So remind yourself, a lot of these people are Rick rolling you. You thought Lil Nas X was going to apologize. He said, you know what? He just played his song again. I told you. They're Rick rolling you. They're trolling you. And the joke's on you if you're getting all emotional about it. It's called a music business. It's a business. It's all business. So remind yourself of that every single day. Don't feel any kind of way towards Lil Nas X or the video, because they're getting their bag. You should be more focused on your own life to say, what the hell am I doing? Right? So once again, deep divers, you don't have to sell your soul. Keep your soul. Be free. Every single day, hold on to your freedom. Remind yourself, I'm proof you can still make it. I'm proof you can still make it. And, you know, deep divers, I would be a lot bigger. If I did sign the deal, I would probably have 20 million subscribers. But I wouldn't have the cat down the road, though. You see, that's the difference. I wouldn't spend all of that time in nature. That's the difference. A lot of celebrities, Juice WRLD, shout out to Juice WRLD. You know, Juice WRLD freestyle for 1 hour on the Tim Westwood show. He was one of the most talented freestylers, Juice WRLD. And the problem with Juice WRLD is that he got caught up. And that's what happens in the industry. It's happened to a lot of these celebrities. And in the industry, what they don't tell you is that you're worth more when you're not here than when you are here. When Tupac Shakur passed away, they realized that his albums were selling more than when he was here. So that's when the trend caught on, that if you pass away, they can make more money off you. I told you about the holograms. They had the Tupac hologram. That's going to be the next big thing. All of these artists who pass away, they're always going to be working for the devil, because the devil is going to have your hologram. They own your soul, and you're always going to be making money for them, even in the afterlife. That's what we call being pimped from the grave. Right? That's what we call being pimped from the grave, because a lot of these celebrities don't realize that you have to learn about publishing. Michael Jackson was smart. He owned his publishing. Michael Jackson was smart. He owned his masters. But you have to realize that a lot of these artists don't know about that. They don't know about masters. All they get is a 360 deal. All they get is the 360 deal. And that's why if you're in the industry, make sure you go independent. Make sure you go independent. Make sure you own your masters. Make sure you own your masters. Make sure you own your publishing, because if not, they can make money after you are no longer here. They'll be making money off your hologram. A lot of these artists think it's over no. Once you sign, they'll be making more money off your hologram than when you're here. Because that's the next big thing, hologram concerts. Hologram concerts. So remind yourself, this is how the industry do it. They get these young, talented people, these artists, they work them to death. And when they drain their energy, They get another one, then another one. Lil Peep, another example. Very talented artist. But once again, he had the wrong people around him. The industry were creating millions of Lil Peep, promoting a lifestyle of popping Zans, and he was on the bus. And that was it. He was supposed to go out for a show and he overdosed on fentanyl. Now, the girl that gave him it, apparently, she was scared for her life. Deleted her social media accounts and just vanished. So you got to remind yourself that you got to study these artists. Lil Peep said in one of his posts, "I feel so empty." And people didn't realize he was screaming for help. That's what the industry does to you. It sucks the life out of you. It sucks the life out of you. And that's why a lot of these artists are workhorses. They got to go from show to show. They got to be in the studio 24/7. So a lot of these artists end up going crazy. They get the king's disease. They think that the whole world revolves around them. They get consumed by their egos. They get consumed by their egos. And this is why a lot of celebrities have a breakdown. Because when the lights stop flashing, when the audience stop coming out, a lot of these celebrities don't have anything left. Have you seen Requiem for a Dream? The woman who used to be a big star, she's watching herself when she used to be famous. She's watching herself when she used to be famous. And what happens? She's smoking and she's reminiscing on when she used to be the true celebrity. But it's all disappeared. That's what the industry does. Not always. You know, you have some good people in the industry. You have some good people. You got some amazing singer-songwriters out there. But I'm just telling you that there is a code of silence in the industry. The code of silence in the music industry is that you can't speak too much. But you see, real art cannot be censored. And that's why you had the great artists like Bob Marley, all of these people, John Lennon, singing about something that mattered. Nowadays, artists just keep quiet. Drake, your boy Drizzy Drake. Drake is a Scorpio. If you know anything about astrology, you know that Scorpios are very awake. Scorpios are very aware. A lot of these celebrities, a lot of these celebrities are a lot more awake than you know. Drake, all of these people. But they can't say anything. And that's why they're not as free as you think. A lot of these celebrities, they can't go anywhere without a bodyguard. You see, once you sign your soul, once you sign over, now you need security because you're a big deal, right? You're a big deal. You need 4 or 5 security guards. So a lot of these celebrities become prisoners. They live in lockdown 24/7. So these celebrities have less freedom than most people. They can't just go outside. They can't just do what other people do. They got to have security. So this is the trap of allowing your ego to consume you. This is the trap of deceiving people and moving out of the heart space. Once again, look at the devil's expression. He doesn't look happy. He looks sad. He needs a hug. He seems depressed. He's been in the underworld for so long. Collecting souls. The novelty has worn off. And that's why even the devil is tired right now. Look at his face. He's exhausted. Exhausted. That's what happens when you don't have love in your life. But when you have love in your life, deep divers, when you are elevated every single day, every day you're rejuvenated. Every day you wake up fresh, happy. When you're going within yourself, you realize you're a multi-dimensional being having a human experience. Your chakras are aligning. This is the real power. This is how you step into your superpowers. This is how you ascend every single day. This is how you ascend. Because in that video, Lil Nas X is descending. He's going down. It's symbolic. Now, if you want to enter those gates of hell, you got to go down. You got to wear the high heel boots, the red dreadlocks, and go down. When you should be going up. You should be elevating. You should be going up the pole. So I want to remind you that video is symbolic to say a lot of these celebrities made their way down. And they sold their soul. You have to make sure you're making your way up every single day. And that's how you free yourself. You see, a few people have got out of the industry and they've spoken up about it. They've even spoken up about Hollywood and what happened in Hollywood to child actors and actresses. You see, in those days, a lot of crazy shit used to happen on set. Children were taken advantage of. The good news is that the hidden is coming to light. A lot of people had to even sell their soul just to get a movie role in Hollywood. They had to sit on the casting couch and perform all kind of sexual acts. You see, what Lil Nas X is showing you in the video is what used to happen on the casting couch in Hollywood. You had to seduce the devil. Have you heard of those stories, deep divers? Of these women coming out saying, you know, if I wanted that movie role, I had to do this and do that and do this and do that. Have you heard that? So now it's a time to realize you don't have to do that anymore. Like I told you, I'm proof you don't have to do that. You don't have to descend and do what you don't want to do just to feel worthy. You can feel worthy just being yourself every single day. You don't have to do the splits upside down. You don't have to take it from the back, from the devil. You don't have to do that. You can just be yourself and still make it. Dave Chappelle told you. They offered him $50 million. $50 million. He refused it. They said, Dave, just shut up and put on a dress. Now we can give you 50 million. He said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to South Africa. And they thought he was having a breakdown. No, Dave Chappelle was just waking up. And now he's back. But he's doing it on his own terms. Right now he's a lot smarter. But he was showing you how even the industry made it out as if you're crazy. But he was able to have the power to refuse the deal, to say, no, I don't want your $50 million. And because he didn't accept it, he was silent for a while. Dave Chappelle was doing shows in just random places, local bars and clubs. This was one of the biggest comics in the world, just performing at your local club. But he held on to his integrity. He didn't accept the 50 million. Most people would have done that. So remind yourself to protect your soul. It's all about protecting your mental health. And once again, I'm not here to bash Lil Nas X, because we shouldn't judge people. It's not up to us to judge people. We got to focus on our own life. It's up to us to help people. I'm only here to help Lil Nas X and other artists who have signed their soul away. I want to see the best for them. I want to see them make songs that can inspire millions of people. I want to see them make songs that can help change the world in a phenomenal way. See, that's what I want to see. That's why I never trash talk people. I never say, hey, that's bad, that's wrong. No, people are still learning. People are still young. Give them time to grow. But remind yourself right now, you got to choose which side you're on, because there is a spiritual warfare happening. Lil Nas X could have made a video saying, end lockdown. Take off your face mask. What do you think would have happened? That's a no-no. Don't tell people to be free. So remind yourself, you need to be brave. Because I told you that scene in his video, going down the sunken place, just like Get Out, that was all symbolic. He's trying to tell you, they're trying to tell you, you better get out before it's too late. While you have the chance, get out. Otherwise, you're going to be left in the sunken place. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. Let me give a shout out to everybody who's here. Once again, deep divers, make sure you smash the like button. Smash the like button. Smash the like button and share this link. Tell the world we're live. Nettie Scott, you are appreciated. Keep up the good, inspirational work. So grateful each day. We're giving thanks. Wish to manifest abundance, health, wealth. Alchemist, blessings to you. Don't stop. Wait a minute. Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. We can't stop. We can't stop. I will not be a slave. That's the mindset to have. Do not be a slave. Choose to be free every single day. Choose to be free. Choose to live life on your own terms. Don't bend over for anybody. Don't bend over for anybody. Don't bow down to anybody. Follow yourself. Remind yourself. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do for an entity that has no soul. Because the devil loves nobody at all. Not even itself. And once again, the devil is just a metaphor for a lower nature. That's why in the video, look at the face of the demon, empty. Nothing is there, hollow, it's gone. Nothing in there. That's what happens after being in the underworld for so long. You see this devil right here, the one who Lil Nas X is kissing, he had everything. He had all the money in the world, all the fame in the world, all the millions of Instagram followers, all the millions of Facebook followers. It still couldn't make him happy. He still was miserable. He still was miserable. Look at his face. He needs a hug. He needs some milk. So once again, like I said, don't gain the world to lose your soul. Wisdom is better than gold. Shout out to Bob Marley. Don't gain the world to lose your soul. Don't gain the world to lose your soul. Don't gain the world to lose your soul. Deep divers. We have to have more compassion. It's not about being self-righteous. Absolutely not. Let me shout out to everybody here. Spiritual entrepreneurs, you are appreciated. Seems like everyone wants to be self-righteous and cast stones. Wow, no wonder he made that scene where he was stoned. Where's love and compassion lies? That's powerful. Once again, I'm only sending love to Lil Nas X. And we have to send love to everybody. We have to send love to everybody. People need compassion. They need love. They need care. At the same time, they also need the truth. Because once again, don't expect any sympathy if you are helping to program millions of children. You can't have it both ways. You can't influence the minds of millions of children in a way which is not going to benefit them, and then say, where's my compassion? What about the compassion for the children? What about the compassion for the little girls and boys that are listening to your music? What about their compassion? You see? What about their compassion? Where's the love? Because if you love, you will say, actually, the music I'm putting out, I got to make sure it's going to benefit young children in a positive way. So there is no, even though I have a lot of compassion to Lil Nas X, but once again, he told you, man, I'll break a neck of a devil right now to become one. He told you with a 6'6" shoe. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. He rickrolled all of you. He rickrolled all of you. He rickrolled all of you. Thought he was going to apologize. Right? So, like I told you, it's all love to everybody on the planet. But artists have to take more responsibility for what they're putting out there. We're not here to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's here to be a saint or righteous. You have to have balance. You have to have balance. And what I'm telling you is that this is a big thing. This is a ritual. And these rituals have been carried out time and time again. Cafecito, break, you are appreciated. Yes, choose to be free. Thank you for your messages. I used to work for MTV for 11 years. Many awakenings. Hashtag spiritual war. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to remind you as well, deep divers, you are protected. Just say soul not for sale. Your power is in your authenticity. You are protected. Just say soul not for sale. Soul is not for sale. Shakespeare told you the whole world is a stage. So remind yourself that everything you're seeing is part of the stage show. Actors on the stage. Actors on the stage. Learn to educate yourself. That 666 is nothing more than 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. That's all 666 is. Learn to educate yourself. That the swastika is actually an ancient Sanskrit word for well-being. Learn to educate yourself. That this is a Gyan mudra. Learn to educate yourself. That this is a Gyan mudra. Learn to educate yourself on hand signs that go back thousands of years. Do your research. And you'll realize there's nothing to fear. Yes, artists do express themselves what they go through. Let me shout out to everybody who's here. K Universe, you are appreciated. K Universe, you are appreciated. Let me shout out to K Universe. One love to you. You are appreciated. Thank you for the knowledge. The chosen ones rise. Absolutely. The chosen ones always rise. But remind yourself, this is not a war you have to fight against. When you realize the battle is within yourself. The battle is within yourself. It's not out there. The battle is inside of you. And when you really know who you are, you win that battle. If you don't know who you are, you lose that battle. And everybody's on the journey to finding out who they really are. So make sure you find out who you really are. Make sure you're living your truth. You see, we've been engineered to be gladiators, all of us. But once you stop being a gladiator in front of the crowd, you can be yourself. Right? When you stop being the gladiator, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? You see, we're still in that gladiator mindset. Are you not entertained, deep divers? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? This is Rome, deep divers. This is Rome. And the gladiator arena still exists. It's called social media. So remind yourself, sometimes you have to take a break from the gladiator arena. You got to stop entertaining people and entertain your damn self. See, me, I'm never a crowd pleaser. That's why I'm not like a AA list celebrity, because I can't be bothered to entertain a crowd, deep divers. I'd rather entertain myself. Right? I can't be bothered to give the devil a lap dance, deep divers. I can't be bothered to do that. Because it's not even worth my time. You know, so I want to remind you that you got to remind yourself that you don't have to do all of those things. You do not have to do all of those things. But once again, I don't care about your skin color, your race, your sexuality. You respect me, I respect you. Whatever you want to do is your business. Just don't kill anybody. Know your worth. Absolutely. You know, encourage people, because like I say, just like in the film The Joker was actually someone who had a lot of love in his heart to begin with. But people kept screwing him over time and time again. So he grew up to hate everybody. So that's why you don't want to talk down even on these celebrities, because the more you talk down on them, they're only going to get worse. You want to give them love. You want to say, hey, Lil Nas X, I'm here for you. You want to send him love, energy. You want to say, hey, do you think? You don't want to say you're a bad person, you're evil. No, it's all love. It's all love, deep divers. Don't take it so personally. Live your life, let them live their life, and everything is kosher. So you want to send people love, because the more hate you put out, the more hate they become. That's why the Joker became the Joker, because people mistreated him, abused him. Then he said, you know what? I'm going to be the biggest villain ever. Same thing, it seems, happened to Lil Nas X. People were cussing him, calling him names. He said, you know what? I'm going to be Lucifer himself right now. That's what happens when you hate other people. They end up also becoming the hate. So you want to remind yourself, you want to send people love instead of judgment and hate. Send them love. They need it. And you're going to see people doing better. But if you tell them how bad they are, they're going to say, okay, I'm going to be bad. And I'm going to mess up the lives of your children. I'm going to put so many dirty messages in my songs. When your children listen to it, they're all going to get effed up. Some artists do that because they've been hurt so many times. They say, you know what? I'm going to be bad. I'm going to be evil right now. So you want to send them love, deep dive. I always send everybody love. Send them love. Like I told you, love is what people need, not hate. Acceptance is what people need, not judgment. So remind yourself, focus on your own life. You don't have to get caught up in other people's lives. Just make sure you're doing your part, and everything will be wonderful. Remind yourself there is a spiritual war going on, not only with COVID-19 and the global pandemic, but also in the music industry. Every single day, Satan is collecting more souls. Every single day, a new artist is entering those gates. They're walking into the gates of hell, and they're doing the exact same thing as Lil Nas X. See, this is just one, and there's a lot of them out there who are signed up, ready to go. Employees of the underworld. Make sure you choose love today, deep divers. I love all of you. Remind yourself. Let love guide you, not fear. We are the power. Shout out to you. I am love. You are all amazing, deep divers. You know, once again, the Nas X 666 shoe is only this: 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. It's all science. It's all science, deep divers. Study, do the work, and you won't be afraid ever again. I love all of you. Have a beautiful day. Deep divers, we are here. I'll be back. Much love to everybody. Let's go. One love. Let's go.